Are you moving to Northern Virginia and you have no idea where to start your research? And you have so many questions going through your mind right now, like how is the housing market? What is the cost of living? What is the lifestyle like? Well, in this video, I'll answer all those questions and more with 12 things that you must know before moving to Northern Virginia. And we're getting started right now. Boom! Hey everybody, it's David, your favorite realtor. As always, it's another beautiful day right here in Northern Virginia. And if it's your first time here on my channel, please consider subscribing because every week I release videos what it's like to live, work, play, pros and cons, top neighborhoods, cost of living, basically everything that you need to know about living right here in Northern Virginia. Northern Virginia. So Northern Virginia is going to be the suburbs of Washington, D.C. It's going to be located actually right to the west of Washington, D.C. And in Northern Virginia, you can have 4 major counties with Fairfax County, Loudoun County, Arlington County, and Prince William County. In fact, check out this video right here where I did a comparison of Fairfax versus Loudoun County. You're absolutely going to love that video. So Northern Virginia is also going to have a couple nicknames. You're going to have Nova, which is short for Northern Virginia, and also the DMV. And that stands for DC, Maryland, and Virginia. So if you ever hear Nova or DMV, we're talking about this region. So I moved to Northern Virginia 22 years ago from North Florida, and I know what it's like to relocate to a new area. It can be very stressful, overwhelming, and I wish they would have had videos just like this back in the year 2000, which YouTube didn't even exist back then. But use this video as a resource if you're relocating here. Just be a great starting point. So let's get this video going right now with the first thing that you must know about Northern Virginia, and that's gonna be the traffic. Who likes sitting in traffic? I know I don't, and I'm sure you don't as well. Well, according to MetroMile.com, the DC area ranked as the 5th worst traffic in the US. And when I read that, I was like, oh, that makes sense because there's a lot of traffic here. And a good rule of thumb is the closer you get to DC, the more traffic there is going to be because a lot of jobs are in DC. So a lot of people commute to DC and away from DC. Now, there's a lot of ways to kind of avoid the traffic. Let's say you live in parts of Prince William County or Loudoun County and you live and work there, where you're not going to have much traffic as compared to if you live in Loudoun County and got to drive all the way to DC. Now, one thing I can say about the traffic, it is a lot less compared to the pre-pandemic levels. I don't know what the percentage is. My guess is we're probably like 10 to 15% less traffic compared to what we were pre-pandemic levels. In fact, I live in Ashburn and my wife works in DC. So she actually makes the commute from Ashburn to DC. It takes her about an hour each way. Now, she did just start the job, so there's a small sample size. But when she was driving there, she said it's a lot less compared to what it was. Now I'm gonna give you a bonus pro tip when it comes to traffic. If you can avoid these 2 major highways, your life would be so much easier. And that's gonna be 66 and the Capitol Beltway. Those 2 highways always have traffic. There seems to always be an accident and it's always a nightmare. In fact, I was on 66 yesterday and they're doing construction and it's just going so slow. I was about to pull out what little hair I have left. So, if you can avoid those 2 major highways, your life would be a lot simpler and easier overall. Now, off to weather. So here in Northern Virginia, we actually do have all 4 seasons. We will have a super short fall, super short spring, a brutally hot and humid summer, extremely hot by the way, and then we get cold, bitter winters, and we're actually prone to a blizzard every few years or so. And when it comes to snow, it probably snows maybe 3 or 4 times a year max. So we don't get too much snow, but we do get some here and there. But the weather definitely fluctuates big time. That's probably one of the biggest crazy factors of the weather here. In fact, this literally just happened about a week and change ago. It's right after the new year. It was maybe January 5th or 6th. It was 65 degrees. I've never seen it that warm for January. And I'm like wearing shorts, walking outside. I'm like loving it. And literally the next day, we got 5 inches of snow. I've never seen a fluctuation that huge in my life with the weather. Also, we can get a lot of rain. I've seen it rain 15 out of 16 days. I've also seen the flip side where it doesn't rain for 2 weeks straight. So it is kind of all over the place. In fact, I found this funny meme online. I remember I saw it like a year ago where it shows that Virginia has 12 seasons, not 4 seasons. And this is so accurate and so true and so funny. But with that all being said, if you enjoy all 4 seasons, you're actually gonna love the weather right here in Northern Virginia. Now, off to career opportunities in Northern Virginia. And this is hands down the #1 reason why families relocate to Northern Virginia. And when someone reaches out to me who's moving to the area, I would say 9 times out of 10, it is because of like a job transfer or a new career opportunity. And with that being said, if you're even thinking about moving to the area, give me a call, shoot me a text, send me an email. Just know I got your back when you're moving to Northern Virginia. So Northern Virginia is not gonna have just some of the best job opportunities in the state of Virginia, but the US as a whole. Some of these job opportunities include Fortune 500 companies. In fact, Fairfax County alone is home to 10 Fortune 500 company headquarters. And you have the federal government, information technology companies, government and defense contractors, finance, media, and so much more. You're gonna have powerhouse companies here like Google, Facebook. I don't know if they're still called Facebook. They may be called Meta now, but either way, they're here. USA Today, Hilton Worldwide, and also a small startup company you may have heard of, Amazon. No, I'm joking. Obviously, they're not a small startup company, but no, Amazon has their HQ located right here in Arlington. So if you're looking to take your career and income to the next level, Northern Virginia may be perfect for you because the earning potential here is literally unlimited. Now, a common question that I get a lot is, hey David, what is the cost of living like in Northern Virginia? Great question. Chances are it's gonna be a lot more expensive living here compared to where you're relocating from, especially like the South, the Midwest. However, if you're relocating here, let's say from like Hawaii, parts of California, New York City, Chicago, it's actually a lot less expensive to live here compared to those areas. So we're actually going to jump on to nerdwallet.com. They have a great cost of living calculator, and we can compare Northern Virginia to other parts of the country. So let's dive in right now. All right, here we are on nerdwallet.com. So let's start off with New York, Manhattan. And let's say you make $100,000 a year living in New York, and we're going to compare it to our area. So to have your same standard of living coming from New York to move into Washington, D.C. area, you need to make $64,000 here. So it's actually 36% less expensive to live here compared to like New York. Now let's go to Texas. A lot of folks relocating here from Texas. All right. San Antonio. Same equation, relocating here from San Antonio to the Washington, Arlington, Alexandria area. You make $100,000 a year. Basically, you have to make $181,000 a year living here to have your same standard of living. So as you can see, it's a lot more expensive to live here compared to Texas. Now let's use the Denver, Colorado area. Helped a lot of folks relocate here from Denver. And same deal, if you make $100,000 a year living in Denver, so you need to make about $145,000 a year compared to Denver to have the same standard of living. So yes, the cost of living is a lot higher here in Northern Virginia compared to other parts of the country. But hopefully if you're relocating here, you're coming here for a great job opportunity and a huge pay raise to help offset the high cost of living right here in Northern Virginia. Now let's jump into housing. Obviously we gotta talk about the housing. So there's a style of home for everybody here in Northern Virginia, whether you're a first-time home buyer or an ultra luxury buyer. Northern Virginia is gonna have a lot of single family homes, and majority of them are gonna be that colonial style home. And one thing you should know about the single family homes, most of them are gonna have basements. I know a lot of people relocate from the South or the Midwest or even the West Coast, and a lot of those homes don't have basements. You're also gonna find luxury high-rise condos here, especially in Arlington and Reston. You have beautiful townhomes that were built within the past like 3 to 4 years, super ultra luxury, and they have the rooftop terrace, which everybody loves. You have 55 plus active adult communities. You have gated golf course communities. And one thing you should definitely know about the homes here in Northern Virginia, actually 50% of every single home in our region is gonna be a townhouse or a condo. So I know a lot of folks when they relocate here, they're kind of used to it probably being like 75-85% single family homes. So yes, not as many single family homes here as other parts of the country. So it puts a huge premium on owning a single family home. Also, a good rule of thumb is the closer you get to Washington, D.C., the more expensive it is to live there, the more expensive the housing is, which makes sense. That's gonna be the same with any major metropolitan city in the US. Also, the closer you get to DC, the older the homes tend to be. So if you want to live close to DC, just know you may have a much older home and a lot more expensive. So if you like much newer homes and maybe homes that are a little bit more affordable, then parts of Loudoun County and Prince William County may be more for you. Now let's talk about pricing. So the median sales price of a home in all of Northern Virginia is going to be $577,000. And to be quite frank with you, that's not going to get you a single family home. That'll get you like a decent townhouse or a really nice condo. And if you want a single family home, the median sales price of a single family home in the whole area is gonna be $760,000. And also, to be frank with you, finding a single family home in Northern Virginia for $760,000 is extremely hard. Like basically, you're not gonna find one in Arlington County. It's gonna be very hard to find one in Fairfax County, unless it's a much older one built in like the 50s or 60s. And in Loudoun County, you can find single family homes for that price range, but they're probably gonna be like fixer-uppers. So your best bet to find a single family home in that $760,000 price range will hands down be Prince William County. Prince William County would be the most affordable of the 4 major counties in all of Northern Virginia. Now, how competitive is the housing market here in Northern Virginia? Extremely competitive. There's a high probability that the house you want, someone else wants, and most likely you'll be going through multiple offer scenarios. Probably just like anywhere else in the country, but it's very common here for homes to sell for $30,000, $40,000, $50,000 over list price, especially for single family homes. Now, with all that being said, our prices are super high, and yes, market is competitive. You can still find some great value. If you're moving here, take your time, don't be in a hurry, get a short-term rental if you have to. But I'm a big believer with the house that you end up buying was the house you're meant to buy, even if you end up losing a couple homes along the way. Now, let's talk about restrictions here in Virginia. If you're coming from like New York or California and you come to Virginia, you're gonna say, wow, it's a lot more freedom here compared to those parts of the country. So we don't have a vaccine mandate like those areas. However, Washington, D.C. is gonna start their vaccine mandate here in the next couple of days. So what that means is if you wanna go to like restaurants, bars, clubs, museums, you have to show your vaccine card. But we do not have that here in Virginia. And as far as I can tell, when I go out, everything seems pretty normal. Your restaurants are open, the movie theaters open, everything's open. So I kind of feel like I'm kind of back to how it was 2 years ago before the pandemic. I will say this, because I get this question a lot, like how often do people wear masks? I would say when I go to like grocery stores or malls or the gas station, well, I don't go to the gas station anymore because I have a Tesla, but I would say about 85% of people are still wearing masks. So if you feel like, you still want to be protected, people here are still very safe, even though we do have a lot of freedom here in Virginia. Now, let's talk about the world-class education system that we have here. So according to niche.com, we have 4 of the top 6 school districts in the whole state right here in Northern Virginia. We have coming in at number 1 with Falls Church City, coming in at number 2 with Arlington County, coming in at number 5 with Loudoun County, and coming in right behind it with number 6 with Fairfax County. Now, I do want to say this, when it comes to public schools, definitely do your own research. I know there's ratings online, and you got to really take those with a grain of salt. Like, I've had families or clients I've helped in the past relocate here, and they'll say, David, a school that's a 6 here in Northern Virginia would be like a 9 in other parts of the country. So when it comes to schools, do your own research, because what's good for your kid may not be for someone else, or vice versa. And also, if public schools are not for you, there's an abundance of private schools all throughout Northern Virginia. Now let's jump to universities, because if you got the kiddos going to high school here and you want them to stay close by, well, guess what? You got some great options. First, you have George Mason University. It's going to be located right in Fairfax City. Then you have George Washington University. They actually have campuses in Arlington and Alexandria. And then you have UVA, which is University of Virginia. Now, that's not quite Northern Virginia, but the reason I bring it up is UVA is actually ranked, according to usnews.com, as the 25th best university in the country. So if overall education is important for you and your family, then you're going to love living in Northern Virginia. What about fun, David, in Northern Virginia? Well, guess what? There's literally something for everybody here in Northern Virginia in terms of fun. And I'll go over a few things. Won't be able to cover all the fun you can have here in Northern Virginia. Obviously, this is a short video. But let's start off with, hey, we can go to the nation's capital, check out the monuments in Washington, D.C., or have a great dinner in Georgetown. It's absolutely stunning there. It's right on the Potomac River. Or do you like going for happy hour? Reston Town Center or One Loudoun are two of the best places to go for happy hour. Do you love going to concerts? Well, you definitely got to check out Wolf Trap. They have some of the best concerts that you'll find right here in Northern Virginia. Or do you love the outdoors? You got to go hiking in Great Falls Park, especially like it's right on the Potomac River. They have a waterfall, absolutely stunning. And then we have the wineries in Western Loudoun. Actually, Loudoun's known as the wine country of Virginia. I think there's like over 40 wineries. Nothing better than going there on a Sunday afternoon with your friends, family, having some wine, having some cheese. Best way to spend an afternoon. Are you a foodie? Well, we have everything from mom and pop restaurants all the way to Michelin star restaurants. And do you like to go shopping? Well, guess what? In Northern Virginia, you have some world-class shopping where you can do at Tyson's Corner Mall and Tyson's Galleria. So do you want to avoid traffic? Well, here in Northern Virginia, we got 2 train services that will absolutely reduce your headache and traffic. First, you have the Metro, which is a rapid transit system serving all of Northern Virginia, DC, and parts of Maryland. And soon to open, hopefully in summer of 2022, will be the Metro Silver Line, which will go to Dulles International Airport and to Ashburn. So now when you live in Loudoun, you'll have access to the Metro, which will be a huge game changer for folks who live in Loudoun County. Then you have the VRE, which stands for Virginia Railroad Express, which is commuter rail service. So if you live in like the Manassas, Clifton area, the train will take you down to like Alexandria, Arlington, and DC. So it is a fantastic option if you live in those areas. Now let's talk about diversity. And this I can say for sure, Northern Virginia, it is extremely diverse. There's people from all countries in the world, all cultures. So if you love diversity, you're gonna absolutely love living in Northern Virginia. Now, I will say this about diversity. If you're in parts of like Western Loudoun, it's gonna be a lot less diverse compared to like Arlington, which is closer to DC. So just keep that in mind. But overall, extremely diverse. People from all walks of life live here, which is a great part about living right here in Northern Virginia. Now, let's talk about the lifestyle here. Northern Virginia is a very fast-paced lifestyle, especially if you're moving here from like the South, where everything's a little bit lot slower, Southern hospitality. You may not feel that when you live here in Northern Virginia. This is a very affluent area. It's a lot of money in this region. And this area is very career driven and very education driven as well. So those two things are extremely important to families who live here. Now, a bad part about this is people can fall into the trap with keeping up with the Joneses. Like I have to have the nicest car, the nicest house, the nicest watch, the nicest clothes. So try not to fall into that trap with keeping up with the Joneses. But this lifestyle, it is very fast-paced, like I said, career-driven, education-driven, so that might not be for everybody. Another great part about living in Northern Virginia is we have two major airports. You have Reagan National Airport and Dulles International Airport. And if you go to Maryland, you can actually add Baltimore Washington International Airport. So we actually have 3 area airports. Makes traveling so much more convenient, especially if you get the shop rates. I don't know about you, but I love saving money. So I actually did a full video comparing all 3 of the area's airports. Definitely check it out. But it is great having 3 airports in the area, especially when you live close to one, because you can get to your vacation spots a lot quicker or travel for work a lot easier. So that's one of the best parts about living here in Northern Virginia is the 3 area airports. And if you want to continue your research on living in Northern Virginia, check out this video right here. I go over the top 5 best places to live in all of Loudoun County. I think you're absolutely going to love this video. And I'll see you on the next video.